So I'm here at Superbooth with Julian from Sonic Potions. Looks like you've got a range of new modules I've not managed to check out yet. Do you want to tell us what you've got?
Yeah, sure. I can show you. I have first a new DIY kit. This will be this one, a random signal generator. In the end, it's goes down to half an hour cycle time, up to audio range, and it's an interpolated sine wave, and you can blend it to a random walk function. You can switch the mode, and on the one side it will be a complete random signal, and you can lock it to a cycle, but it has no steep changes. But if you turn the similarity up, it will slowly move to other shapes over time, so with a smooth transition. The first time I'm showing pre-assembled modules. Before I just used to do kits and a do-it-yourself drum machine. First over here we have a dual oscillator with a digital oscillator with Yamaha phase modulation.
Yeah, let's hear a bit.
The basic tone is a sine wave, and a sine wave you can turn up to a sawtooth. You have a shaper for a rectangle with pulse width modulation, and you can blend the shaper to a wave folder. And you can use the other oscillator to make FM synthesis. The two cores of the oscillator are completely identical, so each has a pair of wave shapers, the wave folder, and you can add external oscillators to use as an additional phase modulation operator.
Yeah, so we could use the right-hand oscillator to audio rate modulate the folding or the wave shaping.
The wave shape inputs, they are not full audio range. They go up to audio rates, but I think depending on the finished module, 7,000, 10,000 kilohertz. But you have these two, and these will be full audio range to use external audio range oscillators to modulate the phase.
So there's a lot of options.
The same you do here. Now this one is modulating this. You could also do with external signals with the attenuator here.
Brilliant, that looks great.
The next thing, this is the manifold time and space machine, like the name says. You have a lot of different delay and reverb types. You can select the algorithm here. It's a normal delay, a pitch shifting delay. So at the moment it shifts an octave down. You have tape delays, granular glitch delays, multi-tap delays, a double delay with the second audio input, and the bucket brigade delay. For all the delays you can add external effects to the feedback path. So you can use your analog filters in the feedback as well. You can clock the delay to external clocks up to audio rates. So if you use an oscillator as a tap tempo source, you can do carpal strong synthesis as well. And then we have my favorites, two different reverb types. And I can show you this. We take the dry signal, something like this. Now we set a big room at the reverb. And you have really long evolving delay times. Oh, the filter was set wrong.
So how long is the potential decay time on the reverb?
On one model, nearly infinite. On the other, it's, I guess, 5 or 6 seconds.
So one of them super long.
With this one, when I turn it up, you see it's still going, it's going.
Like a hold on the reverb.
Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant. So we've then got the third module. Is that fractal noise?
This is something special. I always like random signal generators like the Wogglebug, but I always didn't like that the interface and the controls were as chaotic as the output. You never really knew what you get.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And here you have a special kind of algorithm that's used in computer graphics to generate landscapes automatically. So you can set up shapes like an Irish grass landscape or like the Swiss Alps with pretty good control. I first go over the module, then I show you a picture on the scope so you see what it does. You have the frequency, it goes down to half an hour between two new values, full audio range as well. You can set the interpolation shape from, I show it on the scope, and the similarity that's on this side. It will repeat a sequence over and over, and if you turn it over here, it will slowly move away and randomly generate new shapes over time.
So it can hold a certain amount of the data and only allow certain elements to change in a variable amount.
That's why it's called the fractal noise, because the shapes are self-similar but always evolving.
Right.
And over here it's complete randomness. The other controls I show you on the scope. Could you film this? I hope you see it. You have the normal sample and hold. If I move the shape knob, you get a linear interpolation and you get a cubic interpolation, like scene-like shapes. If I make this slower, I can take up to 10 octaves of these random signals and stack them on top of each other with different volumes. So I increase the number of octaves, and when I fade them in, you see it slowly starts, it slowly starts to get more and more kinks on the signal. Now we're finally in the Swiss Alps, I think. And if they each have similar volume, it's completely random. And another feature is, since you can lock the similarity of the signal and it goes to audio range, you can go up here again. Since you can go up to audio range and the signal is self-similar, you can also use it as an oscillator with 1 volt per octave tracking, so you can play it on the keyboard as well.
Oh, wow.
The oscillator sound can be filtered with the interpolator because it just smooths the signal like a filter.
Yeah, in the same way that a slew and a filter are essentially the same thing.
If I decrease the self-similarity, you will hear the wave shape is slowly morphing to new shapes over time.
And all the way to the left, would that be a completely random noise signal?
Yeah, exactly. If I go over here, it's completely random. Now it's completely self-similar.
And everything in between?
Yeah, exactly. Then you can also take an audio signal and plug it in here, and it will replace the internal random number generator with the samples from the audio signal.
Oh, so then, can we then still slew that signal?
Yeah, sure. I increase it a little bit. Now you hear the drum doctor. And if I decrease the volume, you have a sample rate reduction effect.
Because it's not using as many bits in the data stream.
You just reduce the sample rate of the audio input. You can also still stack them, so you get different tracks with different decimation amounts stacked on top of each other, and they're as well affected by the interpolation. If you now add a little bit of similarity, you get flanging effects like with really short delay times that you also once again can play with 1 volt per octave tracking with your keyboard or other CV sources.
So all of the modules seem to be bringing in a massive amount in terms of what they're doing, and they look great as well. Thanks for running down the new products, and yeah, one thing to mention that I haven't mentioned, it's Paper Noise that do the graphics. These look absolutely stunning.
Yeah, thank you. I love his work.
Yeah, and obviously functionality as well. Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Okay, was nice to meet you.
Yeah.